Oh my god, I'm late. Huh. No. Okay, let's see. Righteous. Who's righteous? Oh, oh. Uh, but the dude's not even. It's fine. Of course. One. Hello, we're back. We weren't here last week though. Now, as you can see, we decorate with like mountains and stuff. So, I don't think everyone's gonna be joining us today, but we still got what we need, I believe so. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put that there. Hello everyone, welcome back. We're back to church. It's back to church Sunday. Um, now, as you may know, I'm back today. Not better than ever, but I'm back. Now, since we weren't here last time, that means I'm gonna be doing classes, which was the one that was gonna supposedly do last week, and the one for this week. Now, you already saw by the title, if you're watching this on YouTube, we were doing the story of Abraham and Isaac and Joseph. Now, you see, kids, you better be watching this, because otherwise this is going to happen to you. So you better watch. Anyway, so today's class, I'm gonna try not to make it long because it's only 30 minutes till the camera cry is gone for being idle. It's kind of weird. But we're here. So, Fire, Cheerful Crane, Yish, and Yish's friend might not be joining us today. But, as long as we still got you guys there, it's fine. Alright, so, now what we did 2 weeks ago, we talked about the story of Noah and the flood. Now, as we left off last time, God told Noah there was going to be a flood, so God flooded the earth, but Noah created an ark, and he put 2 of each animal on the earth, so that animals wouldn't go extinct, and then Noah and his family went on the boat, and they survived. They were there for 40 days and 40 nights, and the dove came back with a leaf, and they realized there was land. They stopped on top of a mountain, and you know the rest of the story. God made a rainbow to promise that there will no longer be a flood that destroys the whole earth. The flood was caused because people were way evil. They were evil, which they still are nowadays, but it's fine. Anyways, so the binding of Isaac. Do you see the story of Isaac and like of Abraham, Isaac, and all those people? It's actually just, you see, it's about a story of faith and sacrifice Now, to you, what would it mean if when someone says a story about faith and sacrifices, you know, we all know, faith is what brings us closer to God. Now, see the story. If you have a Bible and you open to Genesis 22, you will see that you'll find the story there. And this is why we have a little representation of what's happening here. So you see, it begins with a command from God to a man named Abraham. Now Abraham and his wife, you see, they're old and they never had children, but God made a promise that he would have as many children as the stars in the sky. And and what do they mean by that? Because whether you believe it or not, we're sons of Abraham. We're sons and daughters of Abraham. But no, you're not adopted. We are sons and daughters of Abraham. God kept his promise. Abraham is basically our ancestors. He's one of our very big ancestors. You believe it? So, here's the deal. The story begins with God's command to Abraham to take his son Isaac to the land of Moriah and offer him as a sacrifice. Abraham, despite the emotional turmoil, seemingly impossible task, he obeys God without even saying anything. Like he doesn't question him. He doesn't do nothing. He listens to God. Now his journey was Isaac. He was preparing the wood and altar, demonstrating the absolute obedience that he had with God. So it means that no matter what, you should always just have faith in God. You see, as Abraham was preparing to sacrifice him, Isaac asked, "Where's the lamb for the offering?" Abraham said, "God will provide the lamb," foreshadowing the divine intervention that's going to occur with Isaac. So you see, Isaac doesn't know about it. Isaac doesn't know about what's going to happen because Abraham didn't say anything, otherwise Isaac wouldn't want to go. So that's why he took him. Now, this will happen next. Just as you see, once they got to the place, right when Abraham was going to slay Isaac, an angel of the Lord appeared and stopped him, commanding him not to harm the boy. Instead, and then when they looked next to them, they saw a ram stuck in a bush, like a bush like that, not pointy, but a bush, like a bush that's like pause the stream for a second, like go to some grass if you haven't done that, bro. Like go look outside, bro. There's bushes. They found one in a dead bush, so he said for them to sacrifice that lamb. And here's a little demonstration of what happened. I tried my best. My voice sounded weird in this. I don't know why. I couldn't make them move because they were going the opposite of what I wanted them to, and it got really weird, but it's not for you to know. Anyways, here it is. Grab this. Oh, press the wrong button. I still can't believe we're actually gonna have to do this, Dad. I know, son, but God wanted us to do it. Okay. I come from God, and He says for you not to sacrifice your son.
I'll hide over
Go
here.
to your family and tell them the good news. Leave your son to be. So we're not doing this anymore, I guess.
Well, you heard the angel, Dad.
He had
Let's
it.
go home.
Yeah, he had it. He has it. And it wasn't me. I wasn't gonna do that. Yeah, no. I wasn't gonna do that. Keep this, Abraham. So yeah, that's a little demonstration of what happened. Basically, Isaac was about to go on here. He was gonna slay him. An angel came and told him not to and to go home. That's when the sheep came, and yeah. Now, these are questions I want you to think about. Kids, if you're watching this, well, I want this to be a lesson, so, like, tell these to your parents. Maybe they can help you if you feel questioned or whatever you feel. What does the story of Abraham and Isaac reveal the nature of God? How does Abraham's obedience to God's command demonstrate the faith? How does the story of Abraham and Isaac relate to the concept of sacrifice? What is the significance of the ram that God provided as a substitute for Isaac? And how does the story of Abraham and Isaac resonate with other religious traditions or philosophy concepts? And the final question, how can the story of Abraham and Isaac be appealed to our own lives? Ask that to your parents. Let me know what you think.
When it is still one. What would have happened if Abraham did kill his son? Don't worry, they didn't have that back in the day. Don't worry about it.
Where'd it go? You know what? I don't care anymore. Yeah. Now on to our next story. Now, I didn't exactly decorate for this because I wasn't expecting the whole,
Before we end,
when I wasn't expecting for a whole, we're gonna make sure that you suffer before winter break ends thing with me, so, yeah. Anyway. On to our next story. A story a lot of us know. Not a lot, but honestly, I don't need that. Alright, so, the story of Joseph. Now, last story was about faith and sacrifice. This story is about, well, it's an essay, honestly, of thoughtful questions. Basically, this story, it has a representation. This story represents, basically,
love your brothers as you love yourself. We all know the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. And yeah, well, we'll talk about that at the end. So, Joseph.
So after Abraham had a lot of sons, and since
They had a lot of sons,
there
there
were
were 12 kids. There were 12 kids.
kids, Joseph had 12 brothers. Joseph had a lot of brothers.
I don't know if you guys have more brothers, but no, I
I
don't
don't think so. Joseph had 12 brothers. And, well, Joseph and the brothers never got along. I mean, the brothers, they always got along, but not really with, Joseph as much. You see, they used to work, like, for the farms and the cattle and all that stuff, you know? And, you see, one day he got a dream from God saying that he saw hay bales or wheat grains worshipping, like bowing down to him. And then he had another dream saying that the moon and the stars were bowing down to him. And he felt like those stuff were his brothers and his parents. And his mom and dad, I mean, they loved it, but his brothers, they were jealous and they were mad. So, what did the brothers do? Well, you see, the dad gave him a coat, like a rainbow coat.
Like, Joseph loved it, but the
Brothers were jealous about it. Because of a dream, Joseph got this super cool, rich looking coat. But after all the
Work the brothers did, they
never
never really
got nothing, and
well, they were
they were jealous. So what happened?
pinned.
Well, since the brothers were jealous, they decided to sell Joseph. So they started bullying Joseph, and as they were like pushing him around, they stole his coat, and they pushed Joseph into a hole, a well-shaped hole, and he kept begging his brothers to help him, but they made fun of him. Now, after a couple of minutes later, the brothers came back and pulled him out.
Well, at least
He thought it
it was
was
the
the.
brothers.
It turned out to be some Egyptian people. The brothers sold Joseph to Egyptians. He sold them. They sold Joseph to be a slave, and then they got sheep blood and they put it over the coat of Joseph. And they came back to the mom and the dad, and they said that Joseph died, and the parents
Believed it.
but in reality
He was
um stolen. He was sold and taken as a slave to Egypt.
now
Back in the days, Egypt was your basic slave
place. Nowadays it's everywhere.
Anyways, so basically, Joseph was taken to Egypt, and Joseph was taken to Egypt as a slave. But he had a pretty good job though. He was in the kingdom of Pharaoh, like cleaning and stuff. Like he was a cleaner. Like they didn't have mops back in the day, but they used he used like towels and stuff. He would clean the floors and the walls. And Pharaoh and Pharaoh's wife, they loved it. Or so he thought. Pharaoh's wife betrayed Joseph by saying that he
Did something
that he
didn't.
Pharaoh was mad and he didn't believe Joseph because he was just a slave. But what did they do? They put Joseph in jail, like a prison.
Like
That's deep down.
you know.
But even after everything, after being sold to Egypt, being in prison for something he didn't do, working all those times, he still had his faith in God. Even in the prison, he still prayed to God.
So a couple
Years went by, good 5 to 7 years, I believe so. Search up on Google, and after Pharaoh had a dream, and he kept getting a bunch of people
to see if they could see
what
what
his
his dream meant.
This was Pharaoh's dream. There were 12 good cows, and they were in they're out there. Just 7 good cows. 7, not 12. There were 7 good cows. Another, and then another 7 cows came, and like skeleton zombie looking cows, and ate the cows.
The good cows.
But no one knew what it meant. Until Joseph came out. And Joseph told him what it meant. 7 years of good food. The other 7 meant the bad years. Food would go bad. And it would be a nightmare out there. So they let Joseph out. And he started work with Pharaoh. They started gathering food for the next 7 years. And once the 7 years were over, what they called a famine happened. But they still had the food because they stored it. So they were good. Because God gave Joseph the plan. God gave Pharaoh the plan, and Joseph carried on with it. Joseph did the plan. Now,
Because of the famine,
you see, a lot of years went by. and
the brothers of
Joseph came. They didn't have any
food because of the famine. So what do? They went to Egypt.
to get some food.
Joseph saw this
and didn't like it.
it.
He said he would give them something, but he really wanted
Revenge for the
brothers, but he didn't. But he said that he wanted Benjamin to stay as a slave if they wanted food. Then all other brothers, because since Joseph was gone, and they didn't know who Joseph was because he was way different, so they said that Benjamin was the youngest and that the parents loved him to not take Benjamin, and that because they felt regret for what they did
to Joseph all those years back.
And then when Joseph saw this, he saw that the
Brothers had changed.
they felt guilty for what they did. He showed them who he was. And the brothers all in shock. And Joseph
Said to the brothers
to bring the whole family over so that they would give him food. All the food that they need. All the food
they want.
This story shows us, no matter what, always show faith to your brothers. No matter how hard they were on you or how hard they are to you. Like, there are a lot of kids who have brothers that the brothers are mean. But no matter what, always show mercy to your brothers, whether you like it or not. Now, to end, we're going to do the prayer, and then I'll be in the diner by myself. Ivarna Adonai Mishparecha, Ivarna Panavalecha Vikorecha, Sharonai Panavalecha Yisem is Shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace wherever you go. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you all next week. Next week, story of Moses. And there are no announcements, so yeah. Anyways, bye everybody. Shalom. I will see you next week. Remember, story of Moses. This is a very popular story, so be prepared. This is gonna get good. I have a lot
of work to do here. First off, I still need to get rid of all this, and then I'm gonna need fire to help me. You see, to make it look nice, we're going to decorate the church in a good we're gonna decorate the church in an Egypt way. So yeah, bye everyone.